mustn't be correct. A mere fancy of fate. If that is true, why does my mind churn so? Yes, as to be expected. Very good. Very good indeed. Can't be. The drummer, visible only in the autumn months, defies reality and hangs within the sky simply to taunt me. By Sigma, it's really happening, isn't it? The fourth constellation. Is there a fourth? The Azure continues to frenzy, and my research leads me to the drummer, a scientific impossibility given the time of year. Further study revealed Raya's cauldron also. I am beyond reason. There is no reasoning with the forces of fantasy. Though I loathe to admit it, the time has dawned. Sigma, protect us all.
Welcome back to the third teaser for what could possibly be Warhammer 3, and things are really starting to heat up. As usual, we are starting with the exact same shot of Aldorf and the pretty much exact same shot going through his office, and then him looking into the telescope and looking at some constellations. So what we're going to focus on here is the wording and of course the constellations. So let's break this down word by word exactly what he's saying and what it means. So the first thing he says is, it mustn't be correct, a mere fantasy of fate. If that is true, why does my mind churn so? So again, this guy is not believing what he is seeing. What is happening, it doesn't make any sense, but yet in his mind he's thinking it over and over and over again. So he's really confused. Is this real? Is this not real? That does beg the question, why would he be denying it so much? I know it's, something that shouldn't normally happen, but it would have to be something extremely serious for a mage of this caliber to be this confused and this concerned over it. So whatever is coming is very, very serious. Then he says, yes, as to be expected, very good indeed. It can't be. The drummer visible only in the autumn months, defies reality and hangs within the sky simply to taunt me. Now, this is as he is seeing the other two constellations that he has seen in the previous two teasers, and he's seeing these and he's thinking, okay, this is just as I've seen it. Nothing else is here. This is all fine. Nothing to worry about. It's just a little weird thing. It can happen every once in a while. You can see stars that you shouldn't be able to see until next month or 6 months down the line, but it's only two of them, nothing more. That doesn't matter. And then he sees it. He sees the third constellation, which is the drummer. And once he sees this sign, he's straight back to not believing that this is happening, and he goes right back to being even more concerned than he was before. Now, the drummer is the sign of excess, hedonism, and sometimes celebration. And if you didn't immediately think of a chaos god, then let me just fill in the blanks for you. Slannesh is one of the 4 chaos gods. So far we've had Khorne and Tzeentch kind of mentioned in these constellations, and now we have pretty much word for word the star sign of Slannesh. So we are up to 3 major chaos gods, and we are not even halfway through with this teaser. So yes, things are seriously looking like something massive is coming with Chaos. It could be a Chaos rework, it could be a massive Chaos overhaul, or the thing that I'm really hoping is Warhammer 3 baby, and the Chaos are a starting faction, and each of the 4 gods are playing a major part, either having their own factions and leading them, which would be insanity, seeing actual deities on the battlefield, or more likely each of the factions more dedicated to them, and they are kind of playing, an Altar of the Horned Rat role where they are involved in the campaign, but not directly leading it. But nevertheless, we're going to have to wait and see. Very, very exciting. Let's continue with this. Now, he obviously says that this sign is only meant to be visible in autumn, and he says it is a scientific impossibility that he's seeing it right now, and it defies reality by being there. So we can gather from this that this guy is not in autumn, and that means 2 things. He is either in the month that we are in now, well, that CA is in now, and CA is based here in the UK, so they are in kind of early-ish spring to the end of winter. So it's either that or they have picked some random month, but I don't think CA would pick some random month. That wouldn't make any sense. It just would make analysing this so much more difficult. So I'm going to go off the basis, and all my theory is going to be kind of based around the fact that this guy is in the same season cycle as CA. So that means he's in late winter to early spring, which means that, if my theory from the first teaser is correct, then we could be seeing the game pretty soon. That'd be very exciting. But again, we don't know this. But either way, no matter what it is, there is a lot of seasonal fuckery going on. He's seen signs from the early spring. He's seen signs from summer. He's now seen signs from autumn. He's seen signs from all around the calendar. And something that massive happening, seeing all of them at once, means that something, again, as I mentioned in the previous episode, something huge is happening, and something very, very serious indeed. Now, this sign is actually seen differently depending who you ask. Some see it as a sign of celebration, kind of lust and excess and hedonism are kind of things you could relate to celebration, just, self-indulging quite a bit. And then, of course, there are others that see that self-indulgence as overzealous, and that you are leaning too far towards chaos, and going into the darkness of humanity rather than just pure celebration. And you are leaning too far towards chaos simply by even indulging in this sign at all. Our characters born under this sign are said to be very severe in every single decision they make and take things much further than others do. The next thing he says is, by Sigma, it's really happening, isn't it? The fourth constellation, is there a fourth? The Azir continues to frenzy, and my research leads me to the drummer, a scientific impossibility given the time of year. Further study revealed Raya's cauldron also, and beyond reason, there is no reasoning with the forces of fantasy. So what this tells us, he has seen the drummer, and then in the same exact moment as seeing the drummer, he's glanced across and he's seen Raya's cauldron, which is yet another constellation in the world of Warhammer. Now, Raya's cauldron is a sign of mercy, death, and creation, and that's pretty important because I don't know if you can recall what Chaos Lord is left. You know, we've had Khorne, who is, you know, violence and stuff. We've had Tzeentch, who is trickery and being mischievous. We've had Slannesh, who is excess and hedonism and all that exciting stuff. And our final lord is Nurgle, and would you believe it, Nurgle is the chaos god of decay and, among other things, death. So that's all four of the major chaos gods mentioned more or less directly inside these constellations. So if that isn't spelling out that we are seeing something huge coming with chaos, all four of the gods being mentioned, something massive is coming for each of these gods, possibly all at once, possibly each separately, we don't know. They are known to infight a little bit, so it would be very, very, very interesting and very exciting to see exactly what this means. But there is definitely something chaotic coming over the horizon. We know it. Maybe. Now, this sign is only visible in the winter, so, you know, even more seasonal fuckery is going on because he's just seen one sign from autumn, and in looking across in the same sky, he's seeing the sign that is only meant to be visible in winter. He's just seeing insane shit. He's seen these signs that are not meant to be visible at the same time. They're meant to be spaced evenly throughout the year, and he's seen them all on the same night. Something huge is happening, and it is clearly terrifying him. Now, those born under this sign are said to be righteous, fearless, and merciful. So this means that they are fearless in battle, but when they come across innocents that don't really have anything to do with the fighting, and they are less fortunate than the person themselves, they take mercy on them and don't just execute them for fun. It's not that type of character. They are more, I will take out my enemy, but once that is done, the killing will stop. But when they are fighting against the enemies, they will hold nothing back, and they will fight until the last man. These characters are also known to religiously try to rid the world of mutants, and mutants in the Warhammer world generally means chaotic mutants. Chaos, corruption has, well, corrupted you, and you have mutated because of it into something beyond human or beyond whatever race you were to begin with. So it's kind of weird, this one. It sounds like, you know, we are getting Nurgle with the whole death thing, but it also sounds like this could possibly be a tease for someone who's standing up to chaos and trying to rid the world of chaos. Now, the first thing that you think of when you think of ridding the world of chaos, to most people, is Kislev, but we haven't really got anything else to support this just yet, so I'm not going to go too deep into that because, well, I have nothing to go off. Now, this sign is also closely associated with all aspects of nature, you know, death and creation and mercy. These are all things that exist within nature, pretty much. So this could be teasing that we're getting a faction with a very close relationship with nature. It could be, you know, a different type of wood elf. It could be possibly the Amazons. I'd really love to see the Amazons in Warhammer. I think a all or mostly female faction would be really, really cool. Something that we've never seen before. They do live in Lustria, so they are surrounded by nature. So you never know. Pure speculation at this point. If there's any more nature-surrounded factions I haven't mentioned, please do leave them down in the comments below. I would love to read them. Again, all of this, I would love to hear your theories on it because, you know, I'm getting this information relatively at the same time as you. So this is very exciting stuff, and I'm trying to get in as much detail as possible, but I can't get everything. So if you catch something I didn't, put it in the comments. And one of the last things he said just then was, all of this is beyond science and reason and is purely fantasy. And if a mage, a man or being that practices magic, is saying that something is beyond science and magic and it is a pure fantasy, it's like a fantasy within a fantasy. It's insane. So whatever is coming, it's scaring the shit out of this guy because he can't explain it. Again, this is one of those wizards that is stupidly wise and they know pretty much everything because they gaze into the future, but he doesn't know what this is. And if you don't know what something is and you are this wise, then chances are you're going to be very afraid of it because everyone fears the unknown. Now, the final thing he says is, though I loathe to admit it, the time has dawned. Sigma, protect us all. Now, this looks like he's finally starting to believe what he is seeing. He's no longer saying this can't be true, this can't be true. He's saying, as much as I hate to admit it, the time has come for whatever is coming to happen. He hasn't told us what's happening just yet, but judging off what he's saying, whatever is coming is going to come very, very soon. So whatever all this is leading up to, we can expect that it's going to be announced or going to be released in the next couple of days. And whatever it is, boy oh boy, it's going to be cataclysmic to the world of Warhammer. And again, I'm purely believing that this has to be something to do with chaos. There is nothing, to my belief, in the Warhammer world that would scare a mage of this caliber in the Empire as much as chaos. I don't think there's any other faction in the game. Again, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe it has to be something to do with chaos. Now, the final line he says is Sigmar protects all. Now, that is very similar to a line that you hear in a lot of over-dramatic films these days, which is God help us. And when this line is said, it normally means that there is absolutely no hope. You know, it's an apocalypse film. There's a nuclear winter coming. The newscaster, who sat there very tense, he's like, oh, my family at home, I love you, God help us all. He's saying that because he knows the world is about to end as we know it. So if this guy is saying it, things are not looking very good for the Empire, but things are looking very good content release-wise, I'll tell you what. Yes, I believe that concludes everything that I can find in this teaser. Again, if I missed anything, please do leave it down in the comments below. I need your help as much as possible in this because I cannot capture everything myself. I only have 2 eyes and 1 very small brain, but I'm doing my best here, so I hope you're enjoying these videos, and I hope you're as excited for me. Please join the hype train. It's really going, and it's hopefully going to come into a station very, very soon. Yes, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, then definitely be sure to leave it a like. And if you want to see more coverage on any more of these teasers, any more Warhammer news, any more Total War news whatsoever, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell thing so that you never miss a single gosh darn video. But yes, I believe that covers everything. So for now, I've been COLONELDAMNEDERS, and I will see you next turn.